Let me know when you're ready to rock and roll.
Looks like we're rocking and rolling now.
We're rocking and rolling now. All right. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Model Railroad Instructor Show. I'm Steve Hoffmeister. We have Edward Traxler and, of course, Ron Pare. This is a currently weekly. We're talking about changing that. Raw recording that we do on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. To use in our produced show. That's 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We are a modeling-focused show. We're open-minded to anything to do with modeling, as in building stuff, not prancing down a walkway. Talk about things like electronics and 3D printing and model trains. And model trains isn't always the main thing, though that is the title of our show. We'll take on anything modeling. Military modelers. Heck, even if you're in the modeling bronies. Hey, come on, come talk to us. Let's have some fun.
Here now.
So, sorry. Anyway, I'm going to now turn it over to Ron here and let him have the floor.
Hi guys, my name's Ron Pare, and as Steve said, this is Model Railroad's Instructors Show. And in today's show, we've got Jeff Otto. Who else? I put out the link to a couple of guys, and if they can make it on the show, they can make it on the show. If not, that's what we're doing. So a little bit of house cleaning here, guys. I wanted to talk about the logo, contest kit, and our new sponsor. Logo. If anybody out in the community wants to make a logo for us, of course we're technical kind of guys, and we're capable of making a logo. But if it's something that you're keen on doing, it would. We'd like to, share your stuff or have you be a part of the show in some way. Also, if you want to be on the show, you can contact me, Hoffy, or Edward Traxler on Facebook, or you can email me at pare.ron@gmail.com. That's Pare, P-A-R-E. Yeah. With the logo, if you send us in a great logo, I'll send you a Modelers Guild shirt. Modelers Guild is our Facebook group. I know it's a different name, but if the Model Railroads Instructors Show ever goes this way, maybe the Modelers Guild might get sold one day to somebody. I don't know. The Model Railroads Instructor Show will be safe to go out on its own, so that's why there's two different names. What was next? Contest kit. Recently, here, let me share my photos of. Let me bring up the photos here. Of course, I'm not prepared. ITLA. Where did I put this? There they are.
If we were prepared, it wouldn't be nearly as much fun.
Yeah. The show would be too quick. Too quick.
Be too quick, too organized, and we thrive on chaos.
Yeah. So, I think I'm sharing that. Okay, so this is the ITLA background flat. I have 3 videos put up that I made on my YouTube channel where I build this kit and use my Cricut to make the sign. ITLA gave us one of these kits to give away to one of our patrons. Patreon I guess I'll have to share that too. There's a little bit of a juggling act here. Okay. Patreon.com/Ron Pare, Pare, is a way for people to help fund the show. The Model Railroads and Structures show, we basically, if the show was funded, we'd be able to improve many different things if we had money to do it. Audio quality, sending, I'd like to be able to send hardware to the other co-hosts to be able to get the best quality show out to the community. So we have 6 patrons right now, get $18 a month. So we're not going to get rich off this, we know that, but if you want to be a part of the contest, you have to be a patron. And to be a patron, it says $10 right here, but you can get in on the show at $5, $1, whatever you want to contribute to the show. And our first month's kit is going to be the ITLA background flat in HO scale. If you're in other scales and you win the contest, we will provide you with a kit in your scale maybe the next month. I don't know how we deal with that. What do you guys think?
Well, if we're offering an HO scale kit, and you just announce it's an HO scale kit, yeah, I mean, give us benefit of the doubt, folks. We'll match up for you. We'll get it straightened out, get you something in your scale. Just give us some time to organize it and get you taken care of.
I agree with that.
I have a N scale RS laser engine house. If you're an N scale, I don't have an O scale kit right now, but I know I pulled out a engine house that was supposed to go to Hoffy, but didn't make it in the box because it wouldn't fit.
It was supposed to be a bigger box, Ron.
Yeah.
I would just like to say that I am a patron, but I will not be in the drawing because that should go to rest of kids. I'm being a nice guy. Yeah. I'm one of the guys on here, and I shouldn't be in it. I don't think so.
That sounds fair to me, because I mean, you're a regular contributor to the show.
Yeah, that would be like cross pollination or something,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be like I don't know.
It's very noble of you, sir.
I'm not noble. I don't.
A Southern gentleman and scholar.
Yeah, Edward, our Southern gentleman and scholar. His own quote. Got to make that clear.
Our own Eddard Stark. We just won't find your head on a post on a spike.
I hope not. That would suck for me.
Yeah. And the third piece of news is we've gotten ourselves a sponsor for the rest of Season 1. Season 1 of the produced shows is going to be 10 episodes, and we have 5 episodes left in the first season. So those people are Ann Model. They are a Chinese company that sells servo boards, servo controlled turnouts, animations. Years ago, I had a relationship with them for the Modelers Guild, or with the Modelers Guild, and I created an animated water tower. I talked about it in a video, a controversial video earlier this year. I don't know, it's a pretty cool product. I sent a kit down to Steve, and I'm going to send a kit down to Ed. The sad part about it, guys, is those are the version 1s of the kit. They're on version 4 now. So,
Hey, we'll make it work.
yeah, I figure you would. So, I got them to work in 2009, so I'm sure you'll be able to get them to work. And if not, you've got 4 servos each.
What's the difference between the versions?
The difference is not the feet. I don't know for sure, but as looking at the boards, each version was easier to for the end user to put together. The first version looks like this. And this is the big design, and it gets smaller and smaller. In the version 4 that they just released has a cover, and you don't even see any of the electronics. So as they've refined the process,
Yeah.
they made it easier for the end user, so that it's like some people when they get an electronics board, like me when I first got it, I was like glazed right over. It took me about a week to put all the stuff together because I thought I was doing the electronics, It's, oh my gosh, And there's also like the fact that the designer is Chinese, and you get those instructions that are not so English. So they've refined that over the years. They've been in business for 6 or 7 years, and you've seen them advertised in the magazines, Model Railroader and Railroad Model Craftsman. So I don't know if they're a well-known company, but I've known that over the years that their products have been not copied, but other companies have made likewise products. So I'm just reinstated my relationship with these guys, and they're going to help out the show with some content. So
they also have a Facebook page.
Yeah, they do. And I'd like to welcome Ann Model to the fray.
Likewise. I look forward to dabbling with their stuff and coming up with neat things to share.
Yeah, the servo's really cool. What I did was I made a water tower. It's up there on the shelf.
Somewhere.
And what I did was I put a string up through the water tower base and through the water tank and put it over top so that it lifted the spout. And then I had another wire that went down into a tube and pulled the spout down. So with a flick of the switch, you could animate the water tower thing. And in my current engine terminal that I'm building, I started building again. It used to be on the dresser array here. I pulled that down and put the Marksberry's Cove up in the rafters. Hopefully it doesn't fall down. But I'm thinking about animating the doors in the engine terminal so that you could open the door and drive the locomotive in. So
yeah, that'd be really neat.
I need to send you a CD. There's a guy gave a clinic at one of the MRA meetings, and he has a whole series of things he's animated using servos.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was a ball signal.
Yeah.
He automated what are the little HO starts with a B. The little company that makes a little ball signal.
Baccarat?
No, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so he's got a whole series of little devices. I'll have to burn a copy and send it to you.
Sure.
Yeah, it might be handy.
Yeah. So you could be you might have always wanted to be a mechanical designer. With these servos, you can now do that. Ed, I've seen you were working on what was it? Your 3D design with Russ. Green is his last name?
Yeah. Oh, Russell Green. He owns New England Brownstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. About a couple of years ago, we were working on a turbine.
Oh, that's what it was.
Russell, I mean, he owns a company that makes really nice walls in various scales, a plaster.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Right, and he's also I'm trying to get to the thing. He's also interested in things like dams. So he was involved in this. This is that's a turbine I made, and yeah, this is 3D printed. The rivets are actually tissue rivets because I wasn't sure it would print at the time. This is actually a piece of ABS plastic from Plastistruck because I didn't. And the wheels are 3D printed. That's a casting I made from scratch, and so are the pillow blocks.
Cool. That looks awesome.
Well, I'm reworking it right now. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm doing the guts for it.
Yeah, I seen that.
Here is actually a picture. This is a cutaway picture. Where's my preview? There it is. Of a real one. So this is the actual turbine, right? Okay, this is not the turbine. This is the gate.
Yeah.
So these open and close like a when this
Flow
rod
control.
when this rod this open and close to flow through these blades, the turbine is actually buried inside.
Mm-hmm.
So an actual example would be here is. So here's the part you could say this is the actual blade. This is the actual turbine that sits inside here.
Mm-hmm.
This mechanism, these swivel, right?
Yeah.
So and then it lets water through there. So this is the motor, the speed control.
Yeah.
Okay, how much water flows through. So anyway, I've got an example. I was trying to find a. Of course, we're talking. Oh, here he is. This is where I'm at right here. This is the little turbine you saw, and I got these all ready to. In fact, Russell's already ordered 2 of them. So I don't. He wants to use them for something like either just a detail, like in the weeds, rusty or something like that.
Well,
it's not they're not very big. It's only like a ½ inch and across. But that's what I was working on with him.
Is it really necessary to have all those parts on the inside?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not at all. But it's fun.
It's because you can.
No, understand this. You model because you like the creative process to make your buildings.
Yeah.
I get into SketchUp, and to me, it's as much of a hobby as anything else. I enjoy the virtual modeling.
Get lost in the detail.
Well, it's not that it has to. I have to share it. I enjoy making it work and creating the pieces and stuff like that. But what I was thinking about was a scene where this right here, they actually did. This is a display, right? You can see where they cut it with a torch.
Mm-hmm.
But what if, in an alternate universe, they had a half a circular plate that was bolted on, so you could get in there and work on the stuff. Have it set to one side with some workmen working on the turbine. That way, you get to show all the guts. And if, I mean, why not? Oh, here's an actual picture of the actual turbine. The actual turbine itself is sitting inside this gate.
Mm-hmm.
However it works, whether there's a actual flange that comes down or whatever, at the scale I'm working at, it don't matter. But basically these parts here are the what do you call them? Shoot.
Brain part.
Huh? They're rack and pinion.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay.
So these things here, there's actually a square slot in this plate.
Mm.
So it's moving something up and down. It may be as small, nothing more complicated than a round piece that comes down and closes off the opening.
It looks like a
Valve.
gate
Yeah.
to a dam. The dams are made with a gate like that.
Yes, they are.
For a very heavy piece of metal that pulls up.
Well, a dam is usually not. It's usually flat. Okay. In fact, if we go to.
But it's interesting that it's configured the way it is because it looks flat too. The way that those gears are laid out.
Well, I think they were raising and lowering a circular valve, basically.
Oh, I see.
That's because that's around where the turbine is.
Yeah, on the inside.
And I think what it's doing is blocking off those veins that let the water in.
Mm-hmm.
But what you were talking about.
And with the amount of pressure, you want it to be. That's why there's two gears, so you don't wedge.
Yeah, so you don't think. I've actually got a picture on my website. If you go to the to my, where was it? My dam. Where's my dam at?
Where's the dam?
No, not the that's the worst part is my own website, and I can't remember where I put the stuff.
Doesn't the search work?
It might.
I forget about that on my website, so don't feel bad.
Cattle Creek Dam. All right, and so I built this dam from this old book, right, for a power system.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I came here is hopefully I can find the. That was my dam. I was scratch building to go in this little area right there. Oh, here we are. This is the. This is a chute that lets the water out, and here is basically it raises and lowers a mechanism that lets water down. See, this goes to the turbine.
Mm-hmm.
And
so that would work like a jack, where you pull the pole back, put the lock into the thing, put the pole forward.
Ratcheting action kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean that was pretty simple. But there was a I was talking to somebody actually in a hangout. We're talking about this. There's a book called The Power Development of Small Strings, and it's what they're saying here is that water weighs a cubic foot of water weighs 62.5 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this example, I made a stream that was 24 feet wide and 3 feet deep. I said that, right? So that gives you 63 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's the process. And I said if it's moving at 2 feet a second, that's 77,560 cubic feet of water a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you're multiplying by 60, and then since it's water is 62.5 pounds a square foot, you multiply that and it gives you 472,000 pounds per minute from a stream 24 feet wide by 3 feet deep.
Wow.
That's how water gives power, and that is just at the level. If you start dropping it, remember water drop was 32 feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that's what you're doing is they call it head, and the head is how far above your turbine the dam is. So if you're 30 feet up, you've got 472,000 pounds dropping 30 feet.
Mm.
And you funnel that into a tube to feed the turbine.
Mm.
And that's how you're actually converting converting the stuff, because if you go to the actual this book, and you go to the very back. This is from like 1920.
I love
right?
Google Books.
But if you go to I'm trying to find this is the wheel size for the turbine. If you go to a 33-inch wheel, say almost 3 foot, with a head of 25 feet, you're pumping out almost 191 horsepower. If you go to 45 foot, you've got over almost 500 horses for a 30. I mean, so this is pretty wild. The way if you've got a 45-inch wheel, almost a 4 foot. That's the blade in the center. With a 45 foot, you've got over 781 horsepower.
Wow.
So the when you start seeing, they start talking about here's a 57-inch wheel, here's a 66, because you're talking about some big things, right?
Yeah.
With 35-foot head, that's between the turbine and where the water comes out of the dam, you've got over 1,100 horsepower.
Wow.
So it's not magic. And that little stream I was talking about was this is the head, and this is the and this is all based upon the book goes into it, right? But what they were saying in this book was a little stream, if you can catch the water and dam it way up high, like 40 or 50 feet up, 60 feet, side of a hill. The dam don't have to be that big. What they're saying is you're damming that. Remember, that thing was almost 4,500 pounds and all this kind of crap, right? Just that little stream. If you dam that thing 100 foot up in the hills, you might be 50 feet or 60 or 80 feet up in the air. So from that little bitty stream, you can get massive amounts of horsepower. That was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
It
shows that hydroelectricity ain't going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a water wheel driven mill out here where I'm at that's still operational, that works pretty much on that same theory. The water is piped down from way up in the hills and then comes down through the pipe onto the water wheel. I'll try to see if I can't get some photos of that for you, Ed.
I just finished a grist mill for James Wright, and it runs off the same process. It's got a wood chute that brings the water from the dam on top of the wheel and turns it. So
yep, I'll have to get those pictures, because when you built that, you showed me that. That's what it reminded me of, was the Susquehanna mill.
Right. See, they had all this. these different turbines, right? And that's some neat modeling things right there. Look at because the
Oh
water's
yeah.
um, uh, it's actually the water input is coming through the turbine house, so they can control the flow
Mm-hmm.
to the turbine, right?
Hmm.
Uh, but there's some massive turbines, and they go on to about the water wheel and the early versions, but they showing how see the dam is up here, and they what they go through in here step by step. This is actually was written uh, by the government, I believe, for its power development for small. I mean, look at some of this old stuff. This is 1920,
Yeah.
but
I,
still,
I've I've
the
toured Niagara Falls, and it's a massive operation. You just see the machinery in there. You're just belittled by the machinery involved.
but what's great about these books? I mean, look, they're showing you how to make the dam, how to make the. That would make a good model of the
Dam under
process
construction.
under
Yeah.
construction
Yeah.
because they from like 1920. I mean, there's my dam. There's complete section and everything. Right there's your plans.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
but they talk about the different types of dam and how to do the conduits and how they're made and it's like people go, how do I do something? Well, go to Google Books. Here's a book
Hmm.
that shows you how to do it step by step in real
Hmm.
life. Well, if here's the
Water chute.
yeah, they're making wooden water chutes. There's the I mean, look for a model. Look at that. There's your complete vents and everything.
Yeah.
You know, um, uh, complete with math and charts and uh, I mean, what else does a modeler need? If you're, of course, you wouldn't want to use it now because you're modeling 1990s. But if somebody's modeling 1930s or 1940s, uh, I mean, there's the poor guys who's showing, how to mix a sand and concrete. I mean, um, remember, this was a how-to for people. Well,
Hmm.
and the whole point of our little discussion here is go to Google Books. Here's a book on how to build a dam. You want to build a model of one? Well, they're telling you step by step how to grab your shovel and go out there and build one.
Yeah.
So good grief, guys. This is everything.
Books.google.com.
It's everything you need to make a model of it if you were going to make a model. Um,
They're
there's
much, and those old books are so much more practical, in their design and description. They get
well,
complicated in the text, in the lists of numbers and stuff like that, but you've got pictures of everything.
we were just talking about that rack and pinion with the gearing. See it? There it is, right there.
Single gear gate hoist. Yep.
I mean, it's like there's
In St.
there.
Mary's, Ontario, it's a dual gear gate hoist then. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's less chance of binding.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but here they're just using a little simple one, but but there's a dam. Says a gate for dam, canals, or flumes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a metal one. There's your double.
Yeah.
I mean, what does a modeler need? You got pictures and measurements.
Yeah, you're constantly seeing people ask for things on Facebook and stuff like that, and you get these, one thing that bugs me more than anything in the world is you ask for photographs of something, what do you think is neat and stuff like that, and they say, well, Google it, well, you can Google it, and in books.google might give you some information and stuff like that. I wanted
Well,
some pictures.
here's a thing right here. Here's a I've actually got on this is my library on Google Books. Let's go to Bridges. And somebody goes, oh, how do I make a trestle, right? Um, okay, here's a Here's a treatise on wooden
Yep.
trestles. Well, this was written for the engineer that was going to build a trestle,
Mm-hmm.
step by step on every, even pile drivers, how they work, how they look. There's diagrams of pile driver. Well, okay, if you want to know how to make a trestle, how about read the book? I'm sorry, it's called reading, but it's here's they're making the vents, how to do the foundations, uh, 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 how to do the fill, how to notch the beams. I mean, this is the book, this is the manual for the guy that was going to make a trestle. So instead of going, how do I do such and such? How about go to this site?
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I don't. I'm visually impaired, so reading will put me to sleep in no time at
well,
all.
yes, but I'm speaking to the general. Uh, we're talking right here. We're talking about the corbels,
Yeah.
when they use corbels. And look, the Delaware and Hudson, that's how they did it. Here's the Charleston, and Cincinnati, and Chicago Railroad. Here's
Yeah.
how they did it. The Ohio Connecting Railroad, the New York, Lake Erie, and Western. I love
This
all that.
brings to mind to that cptracks.ca website. In there, you can find plans for uh, a wide number of Canadian Pacific structures and buildings and rolling stock, locomotives, all kinds of plans and stuff like that,
Well, for example, look at
which
this.
is another option.
These are stringers, right, from above.
Yep. Yep.
And this is how each railroad did their stringers.
Wow, that's a wealth of information
Uh,
there.
you got of course, the best one is the Pennsylvania. I'm serious. I'm serious. You get to the bottom, they go, and all these are good and some are bad, but the best one is the Pennsylvania, right? Um,
I
but
wonder where the author lived.
well,
Yeah.
it's got to do with the strength. What they were doing was, in case one stringer broke, the train don't fall through the trestle, right?
Yeah.
So,
Or fire, to be
well,
able to last through.
yeah, but the big thing is the some of these guys were trying to save money.
Mm-hmm.
And Pennsylvania didn't. They went just for
Forever.
yeah. I mean, they would like,
We want
but
this thing to last till the trains are broken.
but look at
Yeah.
here is your arrangement. There's a New York WS and BRR, whatever that is. New York Western. There's a
Buffalo.
Pennsylvania. There's a Texas and Pacific. There's a. But anyway, I'm just saying that's your floor systems for your trestle.
New York Western and Buffalo Railroad.
There is a end view of the. It's just like all this information is right there,
Yeah.
and you all the time in the forums you get, oh, how do I attach this blah 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 to something? It's like, well, I don't tell them to Google it, but I tell them to go to this book here, as long as you're in the States, and then they tell you how to,
Super elevate your tracks.
yeah, I mean they
Wow.
talk about double track trestles, super elevation, the iron details. You want to know about how their spikes made. Here's the dimensions of your spikes. Here's the size and weight of nails. Here's a number of bolt spikes in a keg of 150-pound weight of single spike. Drift bolts. And somebody's gonna go, well, this is more information I need. Okay. There's
Some of those,
the
some of
washers.
those diagrams. Some of those diagrams are, of pretty good enough quality that you could probably scale them right out of the book to where you need them to be and use them as a template in some
Well,
cases.
look at these. These are cast iron washers. You know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's your scale.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
I mean, And so, you know, it's connection with embankments. You know, they show you how to. I mean, this is the actual stuff the railroad engineers use to make the trestle. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how do you make the refuge bay? There's a refuge bay complete with now you download this as a PDF, right? Then you can you can zoom in more. You're limited by on the cloud here, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
refuge bay complete with dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Every fourth or fifth refuge bay on trestles over 1,000 feet long, especially when on approach by curves, should be made large enough to receive the handcar. And when the section men or the repair game are at work on the bridge, you'd always be compelled to place the handcar in the refuge bay together with all our tools before they begin work. Right? Footwalks. It gives you dimension, fire protection. It tells you. I mean, this is instruction. This is an instruction book for making a trestle. There's your tools.
Mm-hmm.
There's your axes. There's your wrenches you need. Preservation. You know, files and so you know it's. I love this stuff.
I'm gonna share some stuff here. Here we go. I got some scenery products from Martin Welberg of scenery and stuff on Facebook. He's trying to get his products. He's trying to get a distributor in North America for his products, and I'm using them on my engine terminal. They look a little tall, but I'm not bothered by it. It looks really realistic to me. And I know I don't have the windows on the building just yet here, but I was really surprised by the quality of the scenery products. Like,
Well, he posts on Facebook. You have trouble telling his models are models.
yeah. Like, I got some sheets that have the little tufts, and yeah, you could do this on your own, but like he does these sheets. Like this whole side of the engine terminal is a sheet that I cut into like a 3-inch strip and glued it down, and it's got like the ground matters put in. It's layered. Like it's just amazing. Like these little tufts. It's not a sheet that's just one color, one texture, one height of grass. It's multiple layers. The bushes over here, you can see down on the sheet down here, there's a little bit of texture on the sheet itself, and then you get the long grass, and that's about a 1/2 inch tall, and on top has got a different texture with the, what is that, yellow loosestrife or whatever it's called. It's just amazing what I was able to do in such a short period of time around the layout here. So just sharing a couple of things that I'm